The first text came 3 weeks before my brother's wedding. We need to talk about your chemo schedule. I was sitting in the infusion center, watching the clear liquid drip into my port. Week 6 of 12. Stage 3 breast cancer. The protocol was strict treatment every 2 weeks, no exceptions unless medically necessary. What about it? I typed back with my free hand. David's wedding is October 14th. That's your treatment day. My stomach dropped. I pulled up my calendar. She was right. Treatment #7 fell on Saturday, October 14th. The wedding started at 4 p.m. I'll have to miss the ceremony. I wrote. Infusion takes 4 miters 6 hours. But I can probably make the reception if I'm feeling okay. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. That's not going to work. We're doing family photos at 3. You need to be there. I stared at the message, watching the chemo drip into my veins. Mom, I can't reschedule. Dr. Harrison was very clear about the timing. I'm sure she'd understand for a family wedding. It's just 1 session. My nurse, Patricia, noticed my expression. Everything okay, honey? I showed her the texts. She shook her head slowly. Your mother knows better than that, Patricia said quietly. Doesn't she work in healthcare? She's a nurse practitioner. At Memorial Hospital. Patricia's eyebrows went up. Then she definitely knows treatment schedules aren't flexible, especially with your protocol. That evening, my phone rang. Mom. Jennifer. I talked to David. He's willing to move the ceremony to 6 p.m. if you absolutely can't reschedule your appointment. That's actually really thoughtful. But that creates problems with the venue, the caterer, the photographer. Everything's booked for specific times. It would be much simpler if you just moved your treatment to Monday. Mom, these aren't doctor's appointments, I can shuffle around. The timing is calculated specifically for. I understand that, sweetheart, but it's 2 days. Surely 2 days won't make a difference. I closed my eyes. Dr. Harrison said. The schedule is designed to maintain consistent drug levels in my system. Missing or delaying even one treatment can affect the overall effectiveness. Well, I have 23 years of experience in medicine, and I think you're being a little dramatic about 2 days. There it was. The voice she used when she wanted to pull rank. Not as your mother, but as a medical professional who knew better than my oncologist. I'm not rescheduling, I said quietly. The line went silent for a long moment. This is David's wedding. Your brother's wedding. You'd really choose a doctor's appointment over that. It's not a doctor's appointment. It's cancer treatment. Fine. But don't expect the photographer to accommodate you if you show up late. The family photos are at 3 sharp. She hung up. I opened my phone's recording app and changed the settings. From now on, every call would be recorded. Then I created a new folder in my email. Wedding pressure. The group text started 2 days later. Mom. Dad. My brother David, his fiancée Michelle, and my sister Amanda. Mom. Has anyone talked sense into Jenny about the wedding? David, I offered to move the ceremony. She won't budge on her appointment. Michelle. Maybe we should just do photos without her. We can Photoshop her in later. Amanda. She's being ridiculous. It's 1 treatment. Cancer patients skip treatments all the time when they have important things. I screenshot the entire conversation. Me. No, Amanda. Cancer patients don't skip treatments for important things. That's not how chemotherapy works. Mom. Honey. I'm just saying, in my professional opinion, missing 1 treatment won't hurt. Your doctor is being overly cautious. Me. Are you seriously contradicting my oncologist right now? Mom. I'm saying that I've worked in oncology. I know these protocols. There's flexibility built in. That was a lie. Mom worked in family medicine, not oncology. But I screenshot it anyway. Dad, girls, let's not fight. Jenny. Can you at least call Dr. Harrison and ask for your brother? Me. I already discussed this with her. The answer is no. David. So your answer is no to being in my wedding photos. Got it. Michelle. This is exactly the kind of drama we didn't want. Amanda. She's making everything about her. As usual. I turned off my phone and cried in the bathroom for 20 minutes. Then I dried my face, opened my laptop, and started a detailed timeline document. The voicemail came at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday. Jennifer, it's Mom. I've been thinking about this situation, and I really need you to understand what you're doing to this family. David has been planning this wedding for 18 months. Michelle's parents flew in from Seattle. We have 75 guests who organized their schedules around this date, and you're willing to ruin the family photos. The one thing we'll have forever, because you won't make a simple phone call to reschedule an appointment. I know you're scared about the cancer, sweetheart, but you need to think about other people sometimes. This isn't just about you. I saved the voicemail, added it to the folder. The next morning, I called Dr. Harrison's office. Hi, this is Jennifer Torres. I need to speak with Dr. Harrison about my treatment schedule. They put me through. Jennifer, is everything all right? Dr. Harrison's voice was concerned. I need you to document something in my chart. My family is pressuring me to skip or reschedule my October 14th treatment for a wedding. I need it noted that I am not requesting any schedule changes, and that I understand the medical necessity of maintaining the treatment timeline. There was a pause. Are you being coerced regarding your medical care? I'm being pressured. I'm not giving in, but I need documentation that this is not my decision. I'm noting this in your chart right now. Jennifer, is the family member who's pressuring you a healthcare provider? Yes. My mother is a nurse practitioner at Memorial Hospital. Another pause. Longer this time. I'm going to add something else to your chart. This is a significant concern. Healthcare providers should never pressure patients to alter cancer treatment protocols. Thank you. After we hung up, I emailed myself a summary of the conversation. Date, time, exact words. The real explosion came 1 week before the wedding. Family dinner at my parents' house. I debated not going, but Dad had called personally, promising it wouldn't be about the wedding. It was about the wedding. We've come up with a solution, Mom announced over pot roast. We've found an infusion center that's open on Sundays. You can do your treatment on the 15th instead. That's still a delay, I said. And I'd need a doctor's order to switch facilities. I can arrange that, Mom said smoothly. I have colleagues at the center. Professional courtesy. You want to use your professional connections to help me delay my cancer treatment for a wedding. I want to use my professional connections to help my daughter be present for her brother's wedding. There's a difference. David leaned forward. Jen, please, just this once. Michelle is so upset about the photos. Michelle is upset that I have cancer. Don't twist his words. Amanda snapped. You know what he means. I set down my fork. I'm not rescheduling. Mom's expression hardened. Then I need you to understand the consequences of that decision. If you're not in the family photos, you're not in the family photos. We're not holding everything up for you. I never asked you to. And frankly, she continued, I think you're using your diagnosis to manipulate this situation, to make everything about you. The table went silent. Excuse me, you've always needed to be the center of attention. Now you have a medical excuse. My hands started shaking. I have stage 3 cancer, and you're milking it for everything it's worth. I stood up slowly, grabbed my purse, and walked out. Behind me I heard Dad saying, that was too far, and Mom responding, well, someone needed to say it. I sat in my car, and recorded a voice memo, documenting exactly what had just been said while it was fresh in my memory. The final text came 3 days before the wedding. Mom, after much discussion, we've decided that if you're not willing to be flexible about your treatment schedule, you're not invited to the wedding. We can't have this negativity and drama on David's special day. I hope you'll reconsider, but this is our final decision. I read it 3 times. They were uninviting me from my brother's wedding, because I wouldn't skip chemotherapy. I screenshot it, then I opened a new browser tab, and typed Memorial Hospital Ethics Committee. The complaint form was extensive. I filled it out methodically. Nature of complaint: healthcare provider pressuring family member to delay cancer treatment for social event. Healthcare provider's name: Patricia Torres, NP license number. I looked it up on the state database facility. Memorial Hospital Family Medicine detailed description: Patricia Torres, is my mother and a nurse practitioner at Memorial Hospital. For the past 3 weeks, she has been pressuring me to skip or reschedule my chemotherapy treatment to attend a family wedding. Despite knowing that I am on a strict treatment protocol for stage 3 breast cancer, she has repeatedly stated that missing just one session would not matter, contradicted my oncologist's medical recommendations, claimed to have oncology experience. She does not possess, offered to use her professional connections to facilitate treatment delay, accused me of milking my cancer diagnosis for attention, ultimately uninvited me from the family event. When I refused to alter my treatment schedule, I have documented evidence, including text messages, voicemails, and witness accounts.
Ms.
Torres has used her medical credentials and professional status to pressure a cancer patient, her daughter, to make medically inadvisable decisions for her personal convenience. I attached 43 screenshots, 3 voicemail files, and my voice memo from the dinner. Then I attached Dr. Harrison's chart notes about the pressure campaign. Before I clicked submit, I wrote one more paragraph. I am filing this complaint not out of anger, but out of concern. Torres is willing to pressure her own daughter to skip cancer treatment for a wedding. I am deeply concerned about how she may treat patients under her care. Healthcare providers must maintain professional boundaries and ethical standards, especially regarding treatment decisions.
Ms.
Torres has violated these standards. I clicked submit. The automated response came immediately. Your complaint has been received. Reference number ETH 2024-0847. An investigator will contact you within 72 hours. The call came in 48 hours. Torres, this is Margaret Weinstein, from the Hospital Ethics Committee. I've reviewed your complaint and the supporting documentation. Yes, I need to inform you that we're treating this as a priority matter. The allegations are quite serious. We'll need to interview you formally, and we'll be interviewing your oncologist as well. I understand. I also need to inform you that we've placed Miss Patricia Torres on administrative leave pending the investigation. She will not have patient contact until this is resolved. My chest tightened. How long does that usually take? Given the documentation you've provided, I'd estimate 2 to 3 weeks for the initial investigation. However, I should tell you, this will likely be referred to the state licensing board as well. The behavior you've described represents significant ethical violations. After she hung up, I sat in silence for a long time. Then my phone exploded. Dad, what did you do? Amanda, Mom got suspended from work because of you. David, the wedding is in 2 days. And now this. Mom, how dare you? How dare you? I responded to none of them. Instead, I forwarded all the new messages to Margaret Weinstein, with a brief note, additional evidence of family reaction to ethics complaint. Saturday, October 14th. I sat in the infusion center. Patricia brought me warm blankets and ginger ale. How are you doing today, honey? I'm okay. The wedding is today, isn't it? Yes. She squeezed my hand. You made the right choice. This treatment could save your life. A wedding is just a party. My phone buzzed. A photo on social media. David and Michelle at the altar, surrounded by family. There was a visible gap in the family photo lineup, where I would have stood. The comments were already rolling in. Where's Jennifer? Isn't she David's sister? I heard she has cancer, and the family didn't want her in the photos looking sick. I turned off my phone. 4 hours later, the infusion finished. I drove home, took my anti-nausea medication, and slept. The email from Margaret Weinstein came on Tuesday. Ms. Torres, after reviewing the evidence and conducting interviews, the Ethics Committee has made the following determinations. Ms. Patricia Torres violated professional ethical standards by pressuring a patient family member to alter medically necessary treatment. Ms. Patricia Torres misrepresented her clinical experience and expertise. Ms. Patricia Torres used her professional status to coerce medical decisions. Ms. Patricia Torres created a hostile environment for a vulnerable patient. The committee recommends mandatory ethics training, 40 hours, 6-month probationary period, with supervision, formal reprimand in professional file. Referral to State Nursing Board for license review. The committee has referred this matter to Adult Protective Services. As the behavior meets the criteria for medical coercion of a vulnerable adult, you should expect contact from APS within 7 business days. I read it twice, then forwarded it to Dr. Harrison with a note. Thank you for documenting everything. Mom's call came that evening. I let it go to voicemail. Jennifer, I've been suspended for 6 months, minimum. They might take my license. Over a wedding. You destroyed my career over a family photo. I hope you're happy. I hope it was worth it. I saved the voicemail. Then I called Margaret Weinstein back. She's still framing this as being about the wedding. I told her, not about pressuring me to skip cancer treatment. That's common, Margaret said. People who violate ethical boundaries rarely take full accountability. How are you doing? I had my treatment on Saturday. I'm managing the side effects. Good. And Miss Torres, Jennifer, what you did took courage. You potentially saved future patients from similar pressure. After we hung up, I looked at my treatment calendar. 6 more sessions, 12 more weeks. I do every single one on schedule, exactly as prescribed. The Adult Protective Services investigation took 3 weeks. They interviewed me, Dr. Harrison, Patricia the nurse, and reviewed all the evidence. They're finding medical coercion and emotional abuse of vulnerable adult. The State Nursing Board scheduled a hearing for January. David got married without me in the photos. The family group chat went silent. Dad sent one text. I think your mother was wrong, but this went too far. I didn't respond. Amanda sent a long email about forgiveness and family. I archived it. Mom sent nothing. Week 12. Final treatment. Patricia hugged me when I arrived. Last one, honey. How does it feel? Surreal. As the final infusion dripped, I thought about the wedding I'd missed, the family photos without me, the gap in the lineup. Then I thought about the gap that would have been in my treatment, the 2-day delay Mom had insisted wouldn't matter, the potential impact on my survival rate. I thought about the voicemail. It's just one session. Our family photo is more important. And I thought about the ethics committee report. Healthcare providers must maintain professional boundaries and ethical standards, especially regarding treatment decisions. My phone buzzed. An email from Dr. Harrison. Latest scans show excellent response to treatment. Cancer is in remission. Continue monitoring protocol. But prognosis is very good. You should be proud. You fought hard for this. I read it 3 times. Tears streaming down my face. Patricia noticed. Bad news. No, I said, smiling through the tears. Good news, really good news. She read the email over my shoulder and hugged me tight. You did it. You stuck to your treatment. And you did it. I almost didn't, I whispered. I almost gave in. But you didn't. You chose yourself. That evening, I wrote one final email to Margaret Weinstein. I wanted you to know. The treatment protocol worked. I'm in remission. Thank you for taking my complaint seriously. Thank you for understanding that this wasn't about a wedding. It was about my life. Her response came an hour later. Congratulations on your remission, and thank you for standing up for yourself. The ethics committee exists precisely for situations like this, where healthcare providers cross professional boundaries. You did the right thing. For what it's worth, the nursing board hearing is scheduled for January 18th. Based on the evidence, significant disciplinary action is likely, not because you were vindictive, but because what she did was genuinely dangerous. I closed my laptop and looked at the calendar. The wedding date, October 14th, was crossed out. Above it I'd written, Treatment 7, completed. Below it in different ink, Remission, December 2nd. The family photo from David's wedding was probably in an album somewhere, perfect and complete, with a careful gap where I should have been. But I had something better. I had my life.